Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to another show. What do we have here? We are gonna get straight into this Sagittariusshawty stream. Haven't done one of these in a while. What's up, Nikki D, Mary A Fish? What's going on? Edna, hi there, Sam R, Miranda H, Mouse Toes, A Fish QZ, and everybody else hanging out. Hey there, Murray. Happy Saturday, people. What's up? Alright, so we're gonna get into some Sagittariusshawty stuff. And here we go. All right, so was I sent something? Let me check my Instagram, because there's a lot of stuff about the trick story. I'm wondering, was it actually Bby Kartier? Because I haven't been keeping up with this stuff. So let me check. Okay, so it was that foo lame shit. I ain't with it, and she posted a few things. Okay, I'm gonna go over all of this stuff again. Yeah, we're gonna go over this, but let's get into this. Let me share my screen, and we're gonna talk about. Yeah, thanks, Nikki D. We're gonna talk about this because I've had this stuff, I think, since July the 6th. I think this has been ongoing. And she was showing like DM stuff. And then, of course, now she comes out with the story time. And I believe it's all about Bby Kartier. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. So let's get into the story. And then we will catch up with the screenshots from her other account. So let's go. You finally saw the Nader video calling me out? The only thing he's punching. Actually, I don't even know. What do you think about that Nader video? You should see the original call out. The original call out was him in khaki pants and a black dress shirt, calling me cute. That was the original one.
Alright guys, so before we start, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Yeah. I don't usually do that, but I'm just gonna start doing that. I don't know, guys. I'm so nervous to tell this story because I know so many of you guys are gonna be like, holy fuck, like you're so down bad, like what is wrong with you? But let me just start by saying I know that this is like I did this basically. Because where was my brain the whole time? Like, where's my brain? Let me just also say that I've been weaning off my effector. Okay, I was on 70 times 3 is. I'm not the best at math, but you guys already knew that. Whatever 75 times 3 was, that is the amount of effector that I was on. So I decided to wean down by 75 milligrams at a time, and apparently you're like only supposed to wean down by like 10 at a time. So I've been going through like crazy withdrawals from my meds, one of them being deja vu, like crazy deja vu, which I didn't even know was a thing, which is like also like a part of psychosis. So I guess you could say I'm like kind of psychosis.
Nice.
In a psychosis right now. I don't know.
Okay, I don't even
But
know what this is
okay.
about.
Another one
Upcamps?
being that I am very, very moody, depressed, vulnerable.
What's wrong with her nose? Yeah, she tried to contour. Yeah. Yeah, I saw her nose.
I would say anxious, but I haven't really been anxious, which is like really good for me. Yeah, I'm gonna move back. Just okay. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so nervous. Okay, so I already know the comments are gonna be brutal, but you know what? Who would I be? Like, would I even be me if I didn't like trauma dump or like embarrass myself on the internet? That's literally like my whole thing.
Oh, here we go again.
So I'm gonna start with this
What is up
guy
with
added me
these
on
edits?
Snap, and like I had him for like I added him back or whatever. I don't even know why. I actually don't even know why. So this guy added me on Snap, and he like started snapping me, but like being rude. Like he was just rude. Like that's what I remember. Like I don't remember like our first conversations ever. I just know that I thought he was really rude, and I wanted to block him so bad. We got into like a little argument here and there. Like we didn't know each other or anything. Like literally just like head butted or whatever the fuck, because I just thought some of the stuff he posted was so just really dumb. So yeah, then I don't know how, but I ended up like giving him my number. We started texting. Then we started FaceTiming, and we were
Mm-hmm.
FaceTiming like every day for like anywhere between like an hour to like there was literally a time when we
Hi,
FaceTimed for
Brandy.
4 hours. Sometimes like like he would call me in the morning and then like
Hey,
call me at
gal.
night, whatever. And like he told me he was a Sag. Okay, he told me he was a Sag. And this is what intrigued me because you know what? Like I love Sagittarius. Like I've never talked to a Sag man.
Come on now, dog.
Also, we kind of had like similar personalities, and like I was like, oh my god, like this is like me in like male form.
Really?
And you'll find out at the end why it was totally inaccurate. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, like this is like literally me in male form. Like, oh my god, like he's just like me. Like he would say like, oh, you're just like me. Like, and then the original plan, like I was like gonna be his friend or whatever.
Is she over Botoxed? She used to have, was it lip filler? What did she have before and then she got them dissolved? Can somebody catch me up? Nikki D, what did she have? Then she got them dissolved. I think it was either Toronto or Mississauga she went. Yeah, she had some sort of lip injection, right? Hey Marie, what's up? Who is she talking about? My best belief is she's talking about an artiste, a hip hop artist by the name Bby Kartier. But we're gonna get into that. Don't worry. It's been a shit show, and she has a lips. Yes, she does.
You know what? I was
She also has a gap. Yeah, thank you, Gal Charlotte. So she had lip fillers, got them dissolved. In and around the time she was transitioning back to her dad's place, because that's where she's at right now. She used to live in Mississauga, close to the city center. But uh, stuff just happened, and she had to move out. She looks like Kat Von D. Really? Okay.
down to be friends, but then the way he talks, and apparently he talks like this with everyone. Like this is just like how he talks, but he just like was so just the way he talks turned me on, and he has like a bit of an accent, and like the things he calls me, like he would call me like baby girl, like mamas, but apparently he calls everybody that. So like yeah, he was like wheeling me in, like reeling me in, whatever. Like I was like catching feelings, whatever, and then I was like, oh, like I want to be with you, da da da.
To be honest with you, this story seems like all the other stories with all the other guys, like wheelchair guy. Remember the wheelchair guy? She went over to his house. Of course, he was in a wheelchair, so he had to use his hands and other muscles than his legs to get on the bed. And then I remember my thing is like Sagittarius. If a guy who's lost use of his legs is on the bed and he's calling you over to the bed, what do you think he's on there for? He's not on there for to like you know He wants to get down. What other guys were there? Remember that guy that she said that they were in a platonic relationship with? He was a year ago. He was in her videos and she was swearing that she's celibate. Whatever happened to that guy? Then before that, it's always been lots of Scarborough mans. And then she was clowning that one guy that was from Waterloo. You know, the type of guys that drive around like at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning and call up all types of shawties to hang out with. You know, those types of guys. You ever heard of them? Maybe you've, met some of them. They just drive around late at night. He wanted clout? Yeah, I think that guy wanted clout, the platonic relationship guy. But I always wonder whatever happened to these guys. Then, of course, there's the infamous Kenny. I remember Kenny. You remember Kenny?
My dad's texting me right now about dinner. Like, please, sir, I am busy. Let me text him back and tell them I'm busy.
She looks like that kid
All
from
right,
Sir
so we started
Echoes.
talking, we started FaceTiming. It was just like on a friendly level at first, but like he was saying all that, and like I was like, oh, he's flirting with me, but I don't think he was. So anyways, I hate myself so much for this. Like I'm just like I'm like cringing to myself right now. So don't mind me. Anyways, I'm usually not this nervous for a video. Okay. So anyways, he's calling me mama, he's calling me baby girl, this. You know, like we're getting to know each other. Like, he's super consistent. Like he would text me good morning, good night, like call me every day. And I was like, I'm not used to this. Like, you know, like it's been a while since someone's been consistent with me. Also, it's been a while since I've like, you know, clicked with somebody. Like my problem for me personally is like I meet a lot of guys, like I talk to a lot of guys, but it's so rare for me to like actually like a guy's personality, if that makes sense. Like
Sure, Cam says, I know it's makeup now, but her nose looks like it's made of Play Doh. Yeah, it does look weird. Like the contouring wasn't done good. I've seen people do it, and I've seen it done good. I've also seen it done bad now. Like, yeah, it wasn't working for Saji. I don't have an issue with her nose and how it looks. It's a fine nose. Really, Sam? Boy.
no one ever has the same opinion, the same interest type thing. Like, you know, like I just feel like we were on the same level, like in some ways mentally. And I kind of fucked with it. And like, you know, he liked horror movies. I fucking love horror movies. And like the last guy that I entertained didn't like horror movies. And I just thought that was super weird because what do you mean?
Maybe it's done like that on purpose. Why would you purposely make your nose look like that? It kind of looks like it's broken. Or you just had surgery on it. Maybe that's the look, but then wouldn't you want that little that 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 little piece of thing that goes over the nose so that people know for sure you just had nose surgery done? You know what? I have to speak on something else right now because this is really relevant to foodie beauty. I know I'm kind of going on a tangent. You guys know what happened to Sassy Trucker? Sassy Trucker is a TikToker. She is a truck driver. Well, that's what her stuff is based off. She's from Texas originally. She's a TikToker. She's called Sassy Trucker. She's actually trapped in Dubai right now, facing 2 years in prison for screaming at a car rental guy. Hmm.
And
Wow.
like he was down to like, you know, like do some little horror movie videos or whatever with me for my OF, and I just spat on my bed. Yeah, so I was like, oh my god, like, you know, like I fuck with this guy, like you da 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 da. I'm like, you know, so fast forward, we end up getting to like an argument or something because I thought, oh fuck. See, this is why I wish I had like screenshots of everything, but to go through all of those conversations is like a mission. So let me just try to remember. I'm gonna just go with saying something like, oh, like I thought we were talking, like I wanted to be with him, like in the
She
future
sounds
type thing, like
chaotic.
you know, like cause
She does.
bro, we were looking at places to live together. Like he's like, oh, I want to move to Las Vegas. We were looking at cribs in Las Vegas. And I know like we were only talking for a little bit, but like me personally, when I start talking to someone, I'm like, oh my god, like I'm in love, I'm obsessed. Like I was low key like in love and obsessed.
Yeah, I think her.
Not like in love, like not real love, but like you know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean. You find a guy, you like the guy, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you keep wanting, or you have these like fantasies of how far it could go. But they're just that fantasies. It's not really reality. You gotta really know people these days, don't you? If you really wanna settle down with them, you can't just know a person for a week. Yeah, you ever heard of those stories like people knowing each other for like a day or 2 days or 3 days or a week, and then they elope and it actually works out? These days, you got to be so careful because the odds of it working out are really, really low because people have don't value relationships as they used to as a whole, is what I believe.
I was really feeling this man. So he like makes a comment or something. I don't even know, but he like ended up saying some shit like, "Oh, like you thought we were like actually like gonna be together." He's like, like we could do that, but me personally, like I'm young, like I want two girlfriends.
Yeah, like foodie eggy toast. All right, so Nikki D says her nose is broken though, and she never got it set back into place. Yeah, whatever happened to that incident with the broken nose? I forgot what that story was. But yeah,
And I'm like,
hey Lucy.
what? Like, I'm like, okay, like, I'm not with that. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm a one person only type person when I'm fucking with somebody. I don't want to share you. I don't share when it comes to my significant other. And then, like, we ended up getting into like a fight or something. I ended up like, okay, so he put me onto Discord. Like, he like helped me make my Discord, set up all the roles, the rooms, whatever. And I ended up deleting the whole freaking Discord that had like 400 people. I remade it, by the way. I'll put the link in the bio or like the
Sure.
link right here or something. So I deleted the whole Discord because I was just so mad. Like
Yikes, she got jumped at a party. They peed on her and broke her nose when she was blackout drunk. Man, she's been through some ish. Like, Saggy has been through some super traumatic stuff, especially with her being a teenager and what she went through being in tellies and being trafficked, and then having all these things, girls in the six wanted to fight her because of course they want their clout too, and Sagittariusshawty was known. I've seen those fights. I've seen the fights happening in like I don't know, south of London area. What was that area called when she got pushed? Well, actually she's been pushed to the ground multiple times by Young and Dundas Square, by that guy that wanted to fight her, by that girl that wanted to fight her, southeast of London. I remember the bus incident. She was supposed to go to Wasaga Beach on that bus, and then she couldn't get through the door. There's been a lot of stuff.
unfollowed him on everything. I'm like, fuck this shit. Like da 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 da. Wait, hold on. Because the timeline is what I'm getting fucked up here. So I know at one point, I don't know if this was before or after our first argument, he was called me and he was on the phone. Like he called me he FaceTimed me and there was like a girl in the background, okay? Like I could hear a girl talking in the background. And like we weren't nothing, like okay, so this had to be before. So we were nothing, like we were just talking as friends, whatever. He was flirting with me, like we're talking about linking up, da 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 da. I hear a girl in the background, like literally like this girl like sitting on his bed, laying on it, I don't know. And like he's telling her to shut up, to stop being mad, like, oh, why are you being mad? Like, why are you being salty? Da da da, like if you don't want to be here, leave, whatever. So
Okay, Cool Nikki says it was guys who jumped her. Two girls and guys stomped on her head. Remember, she had a huge egg on her head. This was from a few years ago. Yeah.
okay, I'm getting really fucking pissed off right now because why is this girl blowing up my phone so much? Like
Hey,
I'm
Miss
actually getting
Ella.
annoyed. Like you weren't texting me the whole day. Anyways, so after like the argument we had or whatever, like he ended up telling me like, yeah, like I have a girlfriend, like we've been together for the past 3 years, da 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 da. I was like,
Okay.
he's like, that girl like you heard in the background, like that's my girlfriend, da da da. He's like, but I want to leave her, like she's annoying as fuck, like she doesn't leave me alone, she's obsessed with me. And I'm like sitting here like, and I said this too, I was like, just cut her off, like block her, cut her off. Like it's not that hard to cut somebody off. The only reason somebody would still be in your life is because you're allowing them to be in your life. He's like, oh, she just shows up here, like da 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 da. I'm like, okay, like, well, then we started looking at places in Saga because I want to move to Saga, and we were looking at condo. I was willing to go half. I was willing to go 50-50 on a condo with this man.
Huh?
What?
Let him have the second room to do his little Discord streaming
Wow.
like a freaking dum dum. Anyways, so
Half on a condo. Where's she getting that money from? Well, actually, she was saving money. She was. Didn't she say in about a couple months she saved about 20 bands, 20 racks? If you don't know what that means, that's like 20K in a couple months because she doesn't pay rent at her dad's, right? So she was able to save all that money. If she were in a false nose, she contoured her nose that way, tip top. Is she gullible? In a lot of ways, I would say maybe gullible. Maybe it's just more immaturity. Remember, she rolls with girls that have their boyfriends in jail. Yeah, I remember that. She did say she blew it all. That she saved all that money and then she blew it on stupid shit. Remember, Sagittariusshawty is pretty kind, very kind to her friends, buying them Moschino, buying them a lot of designer brand things that shit some people wouldn't even buy for themselves. But that's what she does. But um yeah, like she pays a lot of money on sometimes super silly shit. Remember her shoes? And then she went to this Etsy site to have something. It was the Playboy bunny shoes, so they were like Nike Air Force Ones for her birthday. And then on Etsy, it was gonna cost a couple $100 for them to put Playboy bunnies on her shoes. Remember that? Yeah, she bought Tati Chanel. She does a lot of these things. Whatever happened to Emily, that girl she beat up? Did she? Uh, Emily, I the last time I heard about Emily, people were saying that she died because Emily, of course, had her. It was Emily Sweet was her name, and her channel is actually still out there. But people are like, "Yeah, man, Emily Sweet passed away," and I haven't had any confirmation that says otherwise. And Emily Sweet was involved in a lot of stuff. So if you want to check out Emily Sweet, sure, go to her channel. It looks pretty here. Yeah.
um
No,
so
that is
like we're
not
looking
Brandy.
at condos together in Saga. Like we're like share like what's that called? Like screen sharing or whatever on FaceTime. We're looking at all these condos. I'm sending him each one that I like, that like I think we could move into, whatever. And no.
I was about to say, is that her
No,
bunny?
DMX, stop.
It is.
Mommy's talking. We're looking at condos, whatever, whatever. And then why? I go on his like little Discord chat thing and I see he said like in his like server that he's packing to move or getting ready to move because he moves next week or like in a couple days or something. And I messaged him and I was like, "You're moving? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Like what?" He's like, "Yeah, like just into a different building. Like my landlord's fucked." Da, da, da. I'm like, "And you didn't think to tell me this? Like I'm sitting here looking at condos for it, and you're moving, but you didn't want to tell me that." He was like, "Oh, like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's not even gonna be like a year lease. Like I'm just leaving for now. Like."
Okay, before we go any further, Marie's like, I think she and Footy should be friends. Oh, Marie, don't you remember back in 2021 when Footy Beauty tried to reinvent herself with the whole dating online thing? She was doing the POF, Hinge, Bumble type of stuff. And Sagittarius Shuddy was like, yeah, she's copying me. Now, Sagittarius Shuddy said she's copying me, not as if she's the pioneer of like binge and Bumble and POF dating, but as in she really took it to another level. Because if you remember Sagittarius Shuddy from like 2020, 2019, it was super ratchet. Like a lot of shit used to go down. Stoner Files, Happy Saturday, to where like front doors used to be broken, people get called out, people get exposed, men's from the six, men's from Scarborough will get their name dragged and people clown them because they would know that you're hooking up with Sagittarius Shawty because she's very infamous in my city, extremely. So yeah, she was that as well. She was a lot of things. So there was a fight back in 2021, more like summertime. Was it like July, August they started fighting because Sagittarius was like, yeah, Foodie Beauty's copying me, and started to diss Foodie Beauty. I still have it in my archive. And then yeah, Foodie Beauty was like, yeah, I ain't about that. And Sagittarius shoddy thing. I thought Foodie Beauty was copying BBW or Veronica. Here's the thing, Tip Top. Foodie Beauty copies everybody. It's part of Foodie Beauty's MO to copy people. She'll copy BBW Veronica. She copies Sagittarius Shoddy. She'll go on TikTok and copy um, verbatim sometimes what people say about binge eating disorder. She copies a lot of things. That's just what she does. She gets information from documentaries or TikToks, and then she regurgitates it to her audience. That's Foodie Beauty in a nutshell.
Like, we can still move, da 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 da. I'm like, okay. So he moves into his new place, and holy fuck, DMX, shut up!
You bitch, shut the fuck up.
Mind you, this whole time we're talking, it had actually was not a long time they were talking whatever the fuck, I don't even know what it was. He keeps saying like, oh, I'm gonna get a car soon, I'm gonna get a car soon, I'm gonna get a car next week, I'm gonna get a car like in a couple of days, da da da, and like, oh, before he moved out too. See, I'm getting all the timelines like, before he moved out too, I had planned to go. Was it before he moved out? Yeah, it was. It was before. I had plans to go to his crib. Like he was like, oh, like you can come over this weekend. Like I'll take like no, he didn't say you take me out. Actually, I'm capping. He said, we can go to like Niagara Falls. We can like play arcades. Like we can like
Mm-hmm.
go to the falls. Like we can do a bunch of stuff downtown. Like or is it downtown Niagara where all this shit is? Anyways, because like we'll have fun. Like whatever.
No, it's not downtown Niagara Falls. That's a misconception that downtown Niagara Falls is where all this stuff is. It's actually not. Downtown Niagara Falls has more of like a small town, small city vibe. Uh, where the casino is, like both of them on the Canadian side, yeah, Casino Niagara and Falls View is actually not downtown. It looks like a downtown, but it's not. Downtown Niagara Falls is east of there. Just an
Whatever.
FYI.
And I'm like, yeah, like I'm down. Like I texted my girls like, hey, like, can you bring me to Niagara Falls? She was like, yeah, like I'll get my man, whatever. We can like I'll like go and then like I'll leave you for the day and you can like go hang out with him. And I was like, okay, perfect. And he was like, oh, you can sleep over, like all this shit. Oh, he said something about how his girlfriend is gonna be there, or he said a girl. Okay, so the girl that he said was at the crib, he said that was just like, at first he said that was just like a random girl, whatever. And then the girl that he said he was gonna be hanging out with, he was like, oh, it's not nothing. Like we're just gonna be chilling. And then he was like, but you can still come. Like after we made all these plans, and I was like, no.
Weird, but I've seen this setup before. Brandy is like, is she still on YouTube? I'm gonna have to find her channel. Whose channel are you trying to find?
Oh, like, cause this man really wanted me to be in like a throuple so bad. I'm like, no, like, why would I come hang out with you and you're gonna be with a girl? Like, we made this, like, we were supposed to go see Little Mermaid together. Like, I really wanted to see it. He was like, yeah, like, we can go. This man all of a sudden says, oh, I'm gonna be hanging out with a girl this weekend, but you can still come. Why would I want to still come? Why
Mm-hmm.
would I want to do that? So he ends up like saying something like, oh, he's not gonna be hanging out with the girl on Saturday and he's just gonna be doing shrooms on Friday. So he's gonna be high on Saturday too. And it was like, you can
Oh
still come. And I
boy.
was like, no, like we had plans to do stuff. Why am I still gonna come to watch you be high on shroom? Make it make sense. So the weekend comes around and
You know what I've noticed, and I've said this 2 years ago. It's like Sagittarius Shawty is maturing a bit, and she's expecting guys that certain types of people would be around that aren't at a certain maturity level to somehow mature with her. And it sometimes it happens, but a lot of times it doesn't, and you just gotta move on, right? Especially if you have a crew of ladies that will happily tell you that they're waiting on their man, and you ask, well, where's your man? Or how long have you been waiting? They're like, yeah, I've been waiting a couple months. Then you're like, waiting a couple months? What do you mean waiting a couple months? Where's your man at? And they're like, oh yeah, in jail. He's coming out in a couple months. Like that type of like environment and atmosphere really reflects on you and really kind of will show what type of guys are attracted to you and you're attracted to them.
And like I'm super pissed.
Yeah, in
Actually,
the
I think
clink.
this might have been why we fought. I think I unfollowed him and everything for this. But I'm like super pissed because you made me hit up my girl. My girl changed around her whole plans to go from one city to and planned it out in Niagara. She like literally was already on her way back from Toronto to spend the night like here in the city so that she could drive me the next day when I needed it. And I had to hit her up and I was like, hey, like never mind. She's like, I'm literally on the highway right now. Like, should I turn around or are you gonna change your mind? And I was like, I'm not changing my mind. Like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. Like, da da da. So I don't even know what happened, but he even FaceTimed me on the Saturday and like he was out doing things and everything. So I'm like, we couldn't chill because what again? I'm like, make it make sense.
They
And
run like
then hold on,
Helen.
guys, let me think because this is like also there's so many like things that happened throughout this. I made my Discord back or whatever. Yeah, that happened. I go on Discord and like he's in his little Discord. Yes, I'm calling it a little Discord. He's in his little Discord, talking. He replied to some girl. Some girl was like, "Oh, like I sent you like some messages in your some pictures or something in your messages." And he was like, "Oh, thanks, baby girl. Like, I really enjoyed them. They made my morning." And I like messaged him and a screenshot of him. And I was like, "Are you good? Like, what is this?" He's like, "Oh, like there's a whole backstory behind that. Like, she was talking to one of the guys in the Discord, and she's just trying to get back at him. Something. Like, okay,
This sounds so ridiculous looking at it from like, a bird's eye perspective of what's going on. I'm like, the dude is an artist. Of course he's gonna have, younger females trying to get at him because in case he turns famous. You know what I mean, right? Like they're trying to lock this guy down in some ways. Like, hang out with him, do whatever. He may become famous. Like he has a pretty good following.
that's obviously not true now, but nice." So I was like, oh, okay. So then after that, like I ended up I don't know if it was after this or like I don't know, at some point I did go search through his social media, find who his girlfriend was. I creeped her on Twitter where she had a profile picture of her like on top of him on a bed. And I even asked him about it and I was like, why does she still have you as her profile picture? He's like, oh, I don't know, like I don't know, like I don't get what the problem is or something like that. And I was like, okay, like whatever. So like after that, okay, creeped on Facebook, whatever. This girl has no pictures anywhere. Like, and the pictures she did have are like old as hell. So I don't even know what was up with that. But I ended up like finding like her best friend or whatever, and then like her mom, like a bunch of people or whatever to try to find like some updated picture of her, but she doesn't have anything. I know
Okay.
it's not the girl's fault.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to bash her. This is literally about him. Whatever. Anyway, so I ended up finding her. Like, I found that picture. Like, I like messaged him or whatever, and then like he was like, "Oh, it's like not a big deal, whatever." In the back of my head, like I'm knowing even like I know they're still together. I know this man's lying to me. So I started flirting with his friends on Discord
Wow.
because like he brought them into my server and like gave them roles and shit. So like I started flirting with them.
Yeah, that's totally the best thing to do is get back at a guy by flirting with his friends. That totally will work out for you.
Like,
Completely.
okay, like you want to play this game? I'll play it too. Then he's not like answering me or like FaceTime me or he's not sending me good morning messages, FaceTime me, nothing. Like he's not texting me or anything. I noticed, and then like they were on like the VC in the Discord. If you guys have Discord, you know what that is. I don't know. They're
Yeah,
like
voice chat, okay. A fish is like in case he becomes famous, but that's what some people's thinking are, right? Like you have a lot of people who will be try and maneuver themselves in a position where in case somebody starts to blow up, like in a literally a day, anybody could blow up. Like you put a video on YouTube or someplace, you might blow up on TikTok. All of a sudden, overnight, you're just known. And some people just want to be in a position in your orbit where, in case you blow up, they're there for you, and then they'll try and lock you down. Lots of people do it. We can have some examples. Is it tacky? It can be considered tacky. Could be considered wrong. Could be considered a lot of things.
Like all like on camera, whatever. He's on cam. Why is he walking his dog? And I'm noticing he's talking to somebody. Like there's somebody with him. And then when he goes back to his crib, there's somebody with him. And I'm like, oh, like who are you with? He was like, if you're gonna be flirting with my boys, like you have no right to ask me who I'm with, like da 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 da. Like I
Mm-hmm.
told you, you can do you, like I'll do me, whatever, whatever. I'm like, obviously, like I'm gonna flirt with your boys if like I'm not
Right.
dumb. Like you're definitely with your girlfriend still. He's like, it's funny because I wasn't even with her. I was with a different bitch. I'm like, okay, like I kind of got over that too, like a freaking butthole. The red
All right. Do you mean Rajon Rondo? You mean Rondo, as in the jet? But isn't he with the? Who's he with now? The Cavs, right? Yeah.
flags. The red flags were pink for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't know what was going on, but I'm just gonna blame the withdrawals. So, yeah, we had that like conversation. I was like, "Oh, like, did you smash her?" He was like, "Yeah." Like, what? Da da da. We were arguing. He was like, "They know their place. Like, they know they get taken care of." Da da da. I'm like, "Taken care of how?" And I'm like, "What do you mean they know their place?" They're like, "Oh, like they don't go and flirt with my boys." Da da da. Like, first of all, don't ever tell me I have like a place or I should know my place because ew. Anyway, so fast forward, we finally make plans to chill. So I ended up traveling all the way to Niagara Falls from my city, which is 2 hours. 2 hours and something, even maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So I go there. Um, I was like, I hadn't slept because I didn't. I don't even know what happened. I think I didn't take my sleep medication or something, or I fell asleep like really late because I was on Discord. Okay, yeah, that actually probably it. So, I was like super tired. It was like thunderstorming, like raining all day. It was supposed to rain all week. Like we made plans for me to go over there and watch like horror movies with him. I was gonna bring Chucky. He was gonna. We were gonna watch that one movie with Pinhead. I've never seen it, but like he said that was his favorite. So I was like, okay, like let's.
You mean Hellraiser? Man, I wonder if they're gonna go from Hellraiser 1 and up, because that is a lot of hours of watching Hellraiser. If it says people should just concentrate on making it happen for themselves, as in blowing up, the challenge is the fun part, but whatever.
Watch it.
Does she
So I
drive?
go over there, like
No, she does not drive, Marie. That's why she'll do Ubers, and she'll get picked up by guys, or her girls will pick her up. I just checked Rondo, and he's been with so many different teams. He never stays with the same team these days. It's like every year Rondo's going from like team to team. So now he's with Cleveland. Before that it was with the LA Lakers. Before that it was the LA Clippers. For that Atlanta. Then LA Lakers, NOP Chicago, SAC, DAL, then of course Boston.
in the
Yeah,
morning
he
or
was on the
whatever.
Celtics.
And oh wait,
Wasn't he called the Jet? No, I'm not huge on basketball, but I know certain things. Ah,
The day before, it was like two something,
for
right?
sure.
And I had like a ride available for me to go at like 2:30 or 2:45 or something. And he was trying to rush me, and he was getting mad. He was like, "Oh, like get ready right now, like catch that." I'm like, "Bro, like do you know how long it'll take me to get ready? Like I'm not gonna be able to catch that." And then I was like, I can like take the ride after it, like in a few hours. And he was like, "No, no, like there's no point, like da da da." And like he was getting all salty, and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And like I was like, okay, well, like I can take a ride tomorrow morning or whatever. So like I ended up doing that, and yeah.
Cypher says where she lives, not having a car is bad. This isn't Toronto. Toronto is easy because more mass transit, but she lives in the Tri Cities, so it isn't really that bad. There's Uber there. There should be also Lyft. And on top of that, there's public transportation. So really, it isn't that bad. I mean, if you lived where like S Jam lives, now you're definitely either gotta have a bicycle or you gotta have a car. Like that is more out of nowhere. Where Saji is at, it's more like, okay, yeah, she 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 could have a car, but it's not that bad. I remember the days of where like buses used to stop running at like 8 or 9 p.m. That's bad. At least these days you can have Lyft or Uber.
We were supposed to watch scary movies, so I finally got there, pulled up to his crib, literally in the most random place I've ever seen. Like, I even asked him, like, when I got there, I'm like, are we in the ghetto?
What do you mean by that?
Do I drive? Yes, I do. Sternophiles. She's moving back to Saga. Okay.
He was waiting outside the door, like, I don't know. It was so awkward. I'm just gonna say that. Like, when I went inside, like,
Do I have my own car?
it was
Yes.
so awkward. Like, mostly because I was nervous to meet him because I liked him so much, like a dummy. So like I didn't really know what to say. Like, his Wi-Fi, he didn't have Wi-Fi. He was gonna hotspot his phone onto his TV and then he couldn't, and then he did it on his like broken streaming computer or whatever. So we ended up going in that room trying to watch a movie. It wasn't working there either. He didn't have Wi-Fi yet. Why did we go in that room? And I'm looking over and there's a laundry basket full of women's clothes. So I looked at it and I was like,
Laundry basket full of women's clothes. Classic. Does your car have cream seats? It does not. I would never, ever get a car with cream seats. How's S Jam? I have no idea. S Jam, I think it's better. He's off the internet, which means he's doing a lot better. Some people just do better off the internet. Some people are okay on the internet, but I think in S Jam's case, being away from the internet is a lot better because those were times I was worried he's gonna burn the entire house down.
what's that? And he was like, oh, like that's my sister's, like da, da, da. I'm like, you randomly have your sister's clothes, thongs and all. He was like, yeah, like she stays here, like she stays with me sometimes, da, 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 da. Like, okay, I don't remember you even mentioning his sister, but okay. And then he opens his closet to show me his clothes. There's girls' shoes and boots everywhere. And he was like, oh yeah, no, that's like literally my sister's. And I was like, it's always their sisters. It's always their sister's
Mhm.
stuff. It's not ever. Anyways, then I had to go pee. So I go to his washroom.
And of course, his sisters, his sister stuff is in there. It's just his sisters. But what if it were cream fabric seats? I would never get a car with cream fabric seats. That would be like hell trying to clean that because I do enjoy a clean environment.
And yes, I'm creeping around because who doesn't do that? Go to his washroom. I'm seeing multiple toothbrushes. There's girls' body soap and shit in the shower. I open the cabinet like mirror thing. Why is there a spa headband? And I went out to him and I was like, what's all this shit? And he was like,
It's his
oh, that I
sisters.
actually don't even know. He's like, I don't even know how that got there. Mind you, okay, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm knowing this man is lying, but I'm eating that shit up for real. I'm just like, oh, like, I have trust issues. Like maybe he's not lying, whatever, whatever. Anyways, it was before all this that I decided to do the do with him. So we start kissing on the couch. Like he's like, "Oh, come here." Like 'cause I was being super awkward. He was like, "You look so tense." Like I was
Mhm.
nervous. I really liked this man for some reason. Blame.
Would it be more believable if he said it was his mama's clothes and thongs? Or if he said it was his cousin's? Like, yeah, that's just my cousin's clothes and thongs.
The meds again. So he's like, "Come here, like come closer, like we're cuddling or whatever." I don't know, on his little couch. Oh yeah. So I've already seen his
His wang?
donut square, like over FaceTime and stuff.
Yeah.
I already knew it was little.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Oh, a lot of people love this guy. A lot of people. He does such great food reviews.
And my day is ruined.
I already knew he was not circumcised, which I absolutely don't really like, and I thought he was. I think it's gross, and like I was kind of nervous to like do anything with him. Not gonna lie. And I thought he was gonna stink. But yeah, anyway, so we start making out or whatever, bro. I was just really feeling it. I don't even know. Like, something took over me, and I was like, "Oh, like, can we go to your bed? Like, we went to his bed. We're making out. Like,
Ooh la
it's just
la.
like really like. See, I'm not gonna cap here and say that I wasn't enjoying myself and that anything was not good, because it was all pretty good. And before I even went, my friends have been telling me, don't go see him, don't sleep with him, don't go see him. Like, you're already like going through so many arguments with this man. You're already like, he's already made you cry like 3 times. Like, don't go. Like, because as soon as you with that man, you're gonna be effed up, and you know that. And I was like, no, like, I'm not gonna go. Like, oh, like, no, I won't. Like, like, I just want to make like OS content, whatever.
Sure.
I should have listened to them. I don't usually listen to my friends because, well, some of them, because I just don't. I ended up going anyways. Anyways, we're on the bed or whatever, making out. He's like kissing on my neck or whatever. Like, he's like sucking on it, like trying to make like hickeys or whatever. And I was like, oh my god, like. He ended up like putting his hand by my no-no square and like rubbing that thing that girls have on their no-no squares. And I can't even lie, while we were kissing,
What's up,
I was
Vanessa?
getting so, I was really into it. So like, he does a little thing down there and like with his hand, and he made me have a happy ending. And then like, which felt honestly amazing. Like, he was just yeah, it was good. Then I like, went to his no square with my, not my hand, my other thing, my
Her
and
mouth.
yeah, and it didn't stink, and it was, so yeah. And then
Wow, and it didn't stink. You gotta put that in there sometimes. Kind of sad that you gotta put that in there. I mean, it kind of reflects on you, what type of people you're dealing with. If you gotta say it didn't stink, as if you're surprised it didn't smell.
we did the do, and I didn't have high expectations because he had a little gummy worm, which I even told him. Like, I told him you was small. Like, I called him my little gummy worm. So we did that, and I
Nice,
wasn't
Vanessa.
expecting, it to be anything really. I was just, but it was really, really nice. Okay, and here's where I effed up for like the 10th time in this story. I let him do it raw because I thought we were talking. I thought he wasn't talking to anybody else. He had told me, like, before I went, he had told me, like, oh, he hasn't seen his girlfriend in a while. Like, they don't even talk. Like, they're not together, whatever, whatever. And I ate that shit up. So I let him do it. And before we did it, I said, when's the last time you got tested?
Run like Helen says she thought it would smell like his sister's no square. Maybe she kind of sort of did. Can you imagine? You know what? That reminds me of that movie Baby Boy. Remember the scene where she was like to Tyrese is like, "Let me smell your dick," and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Let me smell your dick." I died. Oh boy, I was done. I was like, no, but I totally get it. Like, you gotta sometimes be smelling other people on your people. And sometimes other people got like a very flagrant smell depending on your diet. Of course, your diet does really reflect on if your stuff is bitter or it smells sweet or it's funky.
I said, did you use a condom with the last person you did the deed with? And he said, oh, like, no, like, I mean, he's like, oh, like, we did use a condom, like, we used a condom, da da da. I'm like, okay. He was like, I got tested before that, even, like, I'm good, don't worry. I let him, and me too.
Uh-huh, he busted, yeah.
So that was,
It's just okay.
Yeah,
Knows
and
what's
then
up.
we just like spent the day just like chilling and like cuddling, like going on his little Discord where all his little Discord friends were like dissing the F out of me, whatever. Okay. Anyways, oh yeah, they were taking screenshots and stuff too, like whatever. So I go home. We're still like messaging each other, whatever. Then like I don't know, like after okay, so I go in the Discord the next day and I'm seeing like them talking about me. Like they're like, oh, like you're down bad. Like why would you do that? Like da da da. Da. Like do you know? Like you gotta. This is funny. I just remembered this. One of the little boys, the little Discord boys or whatever, was like, oh, like you don't know who that bitch is. Like you gotta go get tested now. Like go get tested.
Right. I was about to say that. Like, if they're saying you're down bad, I know what that means. In the sixth, once again, Sagittariusshawty is infamous. Do I quality check my stuff for bitter or sweet? How am I supposed to do that? I mean, I watch my diet. How about that, Cipher? Does that count as a quality check? Gotta QC that stuff.
Tested. It was some dude from Toronto because Toronto men are just the most hateful. But whatever. Big
Six
ego.
mans.
Whatever. So he was like, oh yeah, make sure you get that girl tested. Like you don't know where that girl's been. That girl's been with everybody. Da 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 da. Like do you even know who she is? Da da da. Like these men are going like, oh ew, like you're down bad. You're so gross for that. Like why would you touch her? Like da da da. Whatever. I'm like he's in the chat. Like he's not being rude about it, but like
Yeah, she does OnlyFans.
he was talking about it, and it's just like, why do you even need to be talking about me? I didn't even want to be on the Discord in the first place. I was hiding behind the computer screen, and then I was like, oh, F it, like, whatever, how bad can it be? I just messaged him, and I was like, why are y'all talking about me? And he was like, oh, like, don't even worry, you know how they are, da da da. They're trying to put me in homie court, whatever the hell that is. They, like, do this court session where they charge each other, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was a part of one, and they're really like funny and actually really entertaining, so I'm not even just gonna start talking shit here. And it's not even all the guys in the Discord that were like, that I hate, not hate, that I dislike, there's some of them are kind of cool, whatever, funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anyways, and then a couple days go by. Why am I itchy? Why am I experiencing weird discharge?
Ew.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
So I start texting my friends. I'm like, guys, like, this is going on. This is not normal. They know. People around me know. I have not slept with nobody. It could have only been him. I used protection when I did with the other person and still got tested. I was in the clear.
Yeah, that took a turn indeed.
So I ended up calling my friend and I was like, hey, like, like something's going on. I need to go to the clinic. And she was like, oh, like I'm actually going right now because like I'm sick or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like let's go, come get me. So she came and got me. Went there. I'm thinking it's chlamydia because that's like the most common one,
Is it?
and that's what I've gotten before in the past, like way past. So I was like, can you give me the meds for it? Like they gave me the meds for it. I spent the whole day being sick as hell because those like pills make you sick. For anyone who's ever taken them, they make you sick.
It actually says HPV is the most common. It's okay. The most common sexually transmitted infections in the USA are HPV, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. Okay, so I guess HPV replaced the syphilis. Because remember when it was chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis, but now HPV is number one.
Okay. So after that, like treatment or whatever, it's getting worse. Nothing's clearing up. I'm like, okay, like this is weird. So like it took a bit for like me to get my results. But I had every symptom of trichomoniasis or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. To a T. I was texting all my friends and I was like, hey, like I have this. They're like, oh, how do you know? And I was like,
Yeah, Saji doesn't drive herself. She does Ubers or people pick her up.
I know I have every symptom to a T. Like I know it's this. Mind you, I'm still waiting for the results or whatever. They took like a week to return the results or whatever, but I ended up like talking. I messaged him and I was like, hey, like, are you sure? Like, you use protection when
Mary, you're hilarious. You know that? Mary's like his sister gave him an STI. Yeah, yeah, yeah. His sister.
You slept with the last person. He was like, yeah.
Actually, it probably wasn't even his sister. Holy shit! We should stop saying sister. His sister, the person he claimed his sister was his girlfriend. Okay, he was living with somebody, and he's probably dealing with other ladies on the side. All right. So it's probably other ladies. I don't think his sister, which is actually his girlfriend, because that's really weird saying his sister gave him an STI.
Oh wait, no, hold on. He said no, I didn't. I was like, you told me that you did, and he was like, oh, like I thought you know I was joking. In what universe is that something to joke about?
She's not even embarrassed telling this story. No, she's not mouse toes. If you don't know about the Sagittarius shady, she told a story about guys ejaculating into her eye. Was it a train? I think it was a train ran on her, as in multiple guys doing it. And one or some or all of these men ejaculated in her eye, so she had chlamydia in her eye. I think that story time is still up on her channel if you want to check it out or not. But when that story became viral on YouTube, because a lot of people were talking about it, other ladies decided to say the same thing, like make up a story like the same way, like, oh yeah, they got an STI in their eye from guys doing whatever, and Sagittarius Shawty had to call them up like, hey, that's my story. But yeah, I think it's still on her channel.
I'm like, no, like you told me that you use protection. I'm like, what do you mean you were joking? Like, da da da. Like he was like, oh, like my bad. Like, da da da. He didn't even apologize. Nothing. He had no remorse at all. I was just like, what the hell? Like, what is even going on? The screenshots of it are on my spam account, which I will put in the description because I film my phone obviously.
From what I know, she's never gotten pregnant because she also has PCOS. And she has a whole range of other things. Like she does have, significant mental health issues, problems. And yeah, I did that with PCOS. She used to be bad on the alcohol back in the day. Remember those back in 2020? And before that, she had substance abuse problems because she used to drink bottles after bottles of alcohol day after day and then come on YouTube live stream and just cuss people out.
Obviously, I can't. So, anyways, we argue about that or whatever, and then I go to Discord and I post the screenshots and I tag everyone and I was like, this is y'all, like this is who you guys are looking up to. This is your people, like whatever. And why were some of the guys like, oh, like she gave you something? Duh, duh, duh. Like, no, no, sweetie, the other way around. Um, and then like the people in my Discord were like, oh, like yo, like what the fuck, like oh my god, da da da. So then we end up going into like a VC, like the group chat thing where like the
Mhm.
camera's on, whatever. My camera was not on because no. And like we're going back and forth. Why is this man still not saying sorry? Not only is he not saying sorry, he's yelling. He's saying, "Oh, like you've been getting this bitch is used to this shit. Like she's been getting burned her whole life. Like this is nothing new to her."
She isn't a hoe. She doesn't charge. She used to charge. I remember her contemplating going back to the telly life after she left Mississauga last year. Because if you remember that, she didn't really know what she was going to do with her life. Because, yeah, the rent of that place was what, 2,400? Can you imagine paying 2,400 a month to rent that place? Incredible. She gets with all the wrong men, says Sleepy Fish. Why? Because she finds them cute. She has a certain type of guy that she likes, and it's typically the type of guy that you get into this type of environment and this type of back and forth, this type of behavior overall. Because she's the wrong
I
girl.
literally told him I was just celibate for over a year. that I'm not on that shit no more. Mind you, he doesn't know anything about me. He's never seen my videos, nothing. He's only seen the No Number interview, which where a lot of people failed to listen to or pay attention to was the part where I had said that I had been in no contact with men, that I was celibate. Everyone just sort of skimmed past that part. So we go on the VC or whatever. This man's calling me a stupid bitch,
Right, Brandy?
like saying like, oh, and then he like kept like, yeah, okay, we're gonna say his name is Robitussin. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Dirty Dick Robitussin. I'm Dirty Dick Robitussin. Dirty Dick Robitussin. Like he sounded proud of that shit. Even like, anyways, he's just yelling at me through the thing. He was like, oh, she's just mad because like I didn't want to be in a relationship. Like
It's like dirty dick.
like
Dirty dick.
fuck, let me just sit here and think on what everything he said was, because there was more and it was
That dick be dirty.
just like, oh,
Dirty. Nasty. Filthy.
oh yeah, oh, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I wasn't saying bad shit to him too, because I definitely was, but I had every right to. I don't give a fuck. Like I even told him, like, you know, if you would have had remorse, if you would have apologized, if you would have been truthful with me, I would have never ever did this, you know. But you played with me, and now it's my turn, and I love it when it's my turn.
Exactly, Saji. You should like make him take his dick out and squirt lemon or lime juice all over it. Make that shit burn. Burn, baby, burn. Disco's burning.
So anyway, he's like screaming at me. He's like saying like, oh, like you broke, like you couldn't even send me $300. Yeah, this guy asked me if I could send him 175. Actually, it wasn't even $300. So he could flip it. I didn't send you that money because that's actually where I draw the line. What am I sending you bread for? That's where I have to draw the line.
Yeah.
I'm not about to, like, I learned my lesson with sending money to men. I'm not sending you money. Second of all, when I asked my friend, like, about it, she was like, no, don't even do it because you're never seeing any of that money again. Because he was like, oh, I'll flip it and then we can, like,
Right.
split it or something. Like, hell no. She's like, you're not going to see that money
Yeah,
again. I was like,
that's
yeah,
gonna
like,
be
you're
gone.
right. You know, like, I'm not going to do it. So I didn't. And then I was like, because like he always sits on Discord and he like acts like, you know, like he's the man, like he has all this money in the world, like he's like so cool, whatever. And I was just like bro, like your only friends are your like Discord friends that you haven't even met. And then he goes on about how like, oh, like these are the realest people ever, like da, 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 they always have his back. Like, okay, then why didn't you ask them for money?
Maybe he did.
I'm like you, like you, I say like you have all this money, but you couldn't even afford your rent because he couldn't. Like he was, or I don't even know, but he was saying something like, oh, like, you know, like I need money, like I have court fees and shit. Like, what court fees? Like,
Yeah,
and
put some hot sauce on that, like Foodie Beauty.
it was literally like the day that rent was due too. So I'm like, your rent's only like $1,300. And I even said that, I was like, your rent's only $1,300. You can't even afford your $1,300 rent. He was like, it's actually $1,400. Like,
Cool.
okay. And I know, like, I always say, like, oh, like, don't like shame people with their money, but like, I don't care. I was just saying anything to this man at this point because I was hurt. I was burning. Like, I'm pissed off. So yes, I'm saying anything. I don't care. When you cross
She was hurt. She was burning, literally.
that line with me, it's game over. Whatever. Yeah, he was like, oh, you couldn't even send me $300. You live with your pops. Like, da 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 da. Mind you, okay, I do live with my pops. He's not wrong, but like, I'm about to move out again. So now what? You know what? Honestly. So, anyways, after that, I ended up messaging his girlfriend, and I was like, hey, like, your man's out here giving everyone trick of a choo choo. Go get tested. That's what I said. I didn't say, like, I didn't.
Man's giving the trick-o-ma-choo-choo out here. Everybody get that trick-o-ma-choo-choo on that Robitussin dick.
Cuss her. Like, I didn't say anything rude to her or nothing. I literally just said, go get tested.
Do you as a man have any respect for women like this? I don't know. I think I might think differently if somebody was telling me the story about Sagittariusshawty if I didn't know her, but I'm very well aware of Sagittariusshawty, so my mindset is different, Charlie's mom, because my mindset with Sagittariusshawty is that she has propensity for change. So I wouldn't say I don't have any respect for Saji. because I've come to know her not in like IRL, but I've interacted with her. Like she has DM'd me before, and we've talked through the DMs, and I've made videos, and you know how you kind of get a different understanding of somebody doing that over the years. So with her, I think she can change. I think she has changed. Remember, she used to be on the alcohol a lot. Remember, she used to do tellies, which are hotels, as in, hook up with guys in a hotel. She used to do that for years. Like, that's hard and that's tough, and that will mess you up. So I do have a soft spot for Saji, so I wouldn't say I don't have any respect for her. I think Sagittarius Shawty has come a long way. She has a lot more you know, to go to be done. But to be honest with you, she slid in your DMs. She slid in my DMs. It was over the DJ. What was that DJ guy that she hooked up with? Remember the story? He drove around until he went to some building, and then they went into the stairway area, and they were doing it. And then what did happen? Did he leave her there, or he brought her somewhere else and then he took off? Remember that story? And it was with the that guy was friends with some other guy that was a comedian from Toronto. But that story, she was like, hey, can you take that down, because me and that DJ guy, we're cool now. But of course, when you're in your feelings, you make a video because you're mad, and then it comes out. Then I had it, and then she's like, she asked me respectfully, and I obliged. So then I was like, okay, cool, I'll take it down. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just do it for you, and that was it.
Oh yeah, and then he was enjoying. Oh yeah, he was like, "Oh, make sure when you do your story time, like that you at me, so like I can get a bunch of clout from this." Like da 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 da. Like first of all, this man loves attention more than I do, and that's a real big problem. Cause you guys know I love attention. I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna sit here and say I hate attention. Like keep that shit away from me. I love that shit. I love attention. What girl does not love attention? Anyways, so yeah, he was saying like, oh, like tag me. Like I was like, no, I'm gonna block you. He was like, no. He's like, I'll just comment my
But it
at
would
name
have.
like a bunch of times so that I can like get code off of this. Like so yeah, he was like calling me a stupid bitch. He was like, oh, like everybody gets a turn with this girl. Like I wonder who's next. Like nobody, honey, nobody. Like you should have never even gone a turn with me. If I was
Mhm.
like on my if I was still like on my meds, like wasn't weaning off them, all that shit, like if I was like,
I don't know about her dad, Mouse Toes. Like, many times I think her daddy's cool. Sometimes I think her daddy's too cool, like, as in he's too down for having his daughter do whatever. Because I can understand if your dad's down with you having a certain lifestyle where you're partying, whatever. For me, that wouldn't fly. But hey, for other people, they're down. I can understand her dad knows she has an OnlyFans. I remember her brother is a rapper called Little White Lies. But then it comes to a point where your dad knows you do telly life, like you go to hotels and you hook up with guys and sleep with them for monies. He knows that and he still allows it. But then she stays with her dad. She's not paying rent, and I'm sure she can easily come on YouTube and get monies to get food. But I'm sure her dad would also feed her. So it's not like there's a need to do that sort of stuff. There isn't a need because you have the three basic necessities of life. She has a shelter, which is her dad place. She has food that her dad will provide, and she has clothing. Yeah, yeah, she pretty much has. I wouldn't say a clean resume. I would say more the word would be a blank resume. She has never had like an actual job on paper, is what I would say. Thought on the Adam 22 thing. I have no thoughts in that cipher. It's like he can have his wife do whatever his wife, Lena the plug, can do whatever they want. That's their relationship. You've heard her name? Yeah, she has a name around the six and beyond. He's wrong for that. Yeah, a lot of people would say her dad's kind of wrong for that, knowing all these things. Like some people might draw the line at OnlyFans. Some people might be like, hell no, you ain't going to no tellies to hook up with guys while you're living free under my roof and I can feed you and clothe you.
No, you would have never gone to term with me. Like, you didn't even. So, what the fuck makes you think you're fucking. No. Okay. So, I ended up blocking him on everything, whatever. I was pissed off. I was angry. I was crying. Like, I
No
literally
problem,
had to
gal.
just. I don't even know what I did. Oh, I think I just went to
Yeah,
cry.
Life of Lindsay says they're gonna be divorced soon. I'm calling it now, as in Lena the Plug and Adam22 gonna be divorced soon. I think the pressure of social media, like a lot of people are dragging Adam22 like bad. Like they're clowning him bad. And then I heard the most recent thing was Adam22 tried to, who did he try and put? Oh yeah, he was trying to put Lena on Top G. Top G, aka who's Top G again? What Top G is? What was that guy? Who's that guy's name? Is his father was a chess master, not a grandmaster, but Top G, Andrew Tate. Like he tried to put Lena the Plug on Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate wasn't having it. Yes, thank you, Cipher.
Went to bed, even, to be honest. Oh, I went on live bawling my eyes out because I tried to contact all of my friends and none of them were answering, and I was just having a whole mental breakdown. So I went on live.
I did
For those of you
oranges.
who witnessed it, yes, I went on live to cry, and I don't care. No shame, whatever. Yeah, I cried. Yeah, because my feelings were hurt. What? And like even in the Discord, like VC or whatever, these guys are saying like, oh, like she's just maybe like, how do you know she even has it? Like maybe she's just lying to you because she misses you and wants to see you. But what do you mean? Because this man was still talking to me, still FaceTiming me, still offering to come see me. He was like, oh, I was only offering to come see you, because you wanted to see me and I just wanted to like delay it or whatever. I'm like, but I never asked you. You literally just said, oh, I'm gonna come see you next week, so I'm getting my car.
There wasn't Adam talking to minors, something like that. There was a thing. Somebody was exposing him for talking to minors a couple months back. I remember that. And then something happened with one of the Adam22 crew members, or a few of them, and then they got fired around the same time that. Who the hell was exposing him for talking to minors again? I remember that from a couple of months ago. Oh man, there's been so much happening with like No Jumper. Yeah, like he was being exposed by some dude. I forgot what it was about, but yeah, you guys can look it up. That was from months ago.
Anyways, fast forward. I went to a little party on the weekend, okay?
Wow.
And I got a little drunk.
Stop the cap.
A lot of drunk. And I texted him after unblocking him. And I said, hey, like, can you FaceTime me? Or like, are you too mad at me? Like, I'm like, you're gonna tell everyone that like I messaged you or whatever. Cause like he was posting on his like Instagram story about me bare, and like it was just like, yeah. Oh, where he also posted him on a date with his girlfriend after I had messaged her saying, your man's burning. They were on a date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's a you problem. Whatever. Anyways.
Real life.
Anyways. So I ended up like he FaceTimed me or whatever. Okay, I was honestly gonna leave this part out, but I know this is gonna surface after I post this video. So we're just gonna get it all out there. I FaceTimed him when I was drunk. And I was telling him I miss him, telling him I wanted to see him. Like he finally like came clean about everything. He was like, yeah, like I have a girlfriend. We live together. We have bitches together. And I
Wow.
do want two girlfriends. Da 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 da. He was trying to make me into a throuple again, and I was like, bro, like first of all, even if I was into that, which I'm not, never will be, she's not my type. That's just what it is. That's what I said. I was like, but like I'm still down to like, link up with you and like do stuff with you and like whatever, whatever. And he was like, yeah, like no, for sure. Like I'm getting my car, like da da da. Like I'm just in Montreal right now, like da da. Who the fuck knows if he was in Montreal? Because he lied about everything. Even when we were on the phone together in the FaceTime call, like he was still lying about everything. Like he was like, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. Like it trips me out when people lie because I don't lie. Like, yeah, I might tell like a little lie here and there, but like I'm not a liar. Like, like lying, I keep it real, like I keep it honest, like everything's so raw with me. Like it's just tripping me when people do lie so much because it's like, for what is your reason? Like I'm literally the most understanding person ever. Like really all I ever ask from people is just be honest with me. No
Okay.
matter what it is, just be honest. And I was sitting there, I was like, just tell me everything. Like I'm not gonna be mad. Just like let me know like really what it was. And he was like, yeah, like we lived together. Like, like when you weren't there, like she was at her grandparents or something, like, oh, we F girls together, like and she seen your message and she didn't care and we went to the clinic together and I was like, okay, like
Damn, so he's had that type of relationship. Okay, all right. I guess he chose Sagittarius Shawty, maybe because she's into ladies as well. Camps is like, I might lie a little, but I'm not a liar. She just means the big lies. The big lies only, Camps. Hey, Kelly Wade, what's up?
I was drunk, so I'm just like, oh, like, okay, like, yeah, I miss you, I want to see you, da 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 da, like, blah, 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 like, but don't tell anyone we talked, and, like, my friend Lauren just kept, like, coming in the room, and I was like, oh, like, I'm on the phone with my friend, like, gotta go, like, bye, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I'm on the phone with my friend, like, I'm on the phone with my friend, like, because I knew she was gonna yell at me, because,
Yeah, gal.
and she did, after I told her all this.
Yeah, in fact, she had a crush on Emily Sweet, which was her friend back in like 2019 until they had that fallout. When did they have the fallout again? Was it like 2020, 2021, something like that? But yeah, Emily Sweet used to be her friend and her lady crush at the time. She also thinks Teddy is super cute and hot. She always talks about having hot friends around and that yeah, she would do stuff with her hot friends that she has around. But yeah,
So that happened, and then I was still texting him.
yeah, people keep saying that pretty hippie that Emily died. I remember when the story kept on coming out like Emily Sweet is died, but I haven't found like confirmation off that she died, just a lot of people saying it. But then again, I haven't found confirmation that she's still alive. Like her channel Emily Sweet is not active at all ever since those things came around. So I guess she did. Rest in peace, Emily Sweet.
A couple days after that, even too. And I still don't really have his number blocked right now, even. I'm going to definitely block it. Like, I'm not going. I don't know. I just need therapy right now. That's all I can say right now. I just really need therapy because what I'm like, me allowing that is just so out of character for me, even like for who I've become in the past, like, year or two. Like, it's just so out of character. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway,
Miami Vice, you might faffle, you might F around and find out. Wasn't ALR in your mommy's chat knowing about you and your crush on her? You better watch out, Miami. You might faffle.
so another thing happens. My ex is in my DM. Not like the one that I've done a bunch of story times on, not the one that like I loved, whatever, whatever. The other ex that I don't
Which other
talk
one is
about
that?
because it's really just a whatever situation to me. He was in my DM. Haven't talked to him in like I want to say 4 to 5 years. Talking about how like, oh, he wants to see me, like whatever, whatever. I thought he was married. I don't even know what's going on with that, but yeah. So he's like, oh, I want to see you. Then like he ends up like we start messaging on WhatsApp, and he was like, oh, like I want to see you. Like I live in right now. I just spat on my bed again. That's fun. Cause like I live in right now. Like I'll come get you, and like we can go out for food or something. And I was like, okay, cool. Because yeah, I want to get taken out. Yeah, I need somebody to talk to. I need some sort of rebound, whatever. And no, I was not planning on effing him before you get into that.
Okay, the last screenshot was her ex. So is this the ex that she would send money to and he would send it back to her because he wants nothing to do with her, like he has a kid and everything? This is not the same one, right? And remember the one that she would say like, "Hey, this is the guy that I really liked and I would do anything to get back with, but he's completely moved on." It's not that one, is it? Let me take a look at this. So I was sent this. Okay, so I don't even know what it says here. All right, y'all. So I went out with my ex last night for dinner. We never fell off bad or anything, so I decided to go. Okay, so this is it. This is the post from wherever, July the 8th. Not that long ago, like 14 weeks ago. Okay, cool. Okay, not the same ex that she would send money to reply. Okay, so this is a different one. Gotcha, because there's different exes. There's that one that wants to have nothing to do with her. What was the setup? Oh yeah, didn't she like have sex with somebody that he's close to? Was it his brother or something? What kind of grimy shit did Saji do to that guy that she said she liked? She had like sex with his brother or something, didn't she?
We didn't fall off like super bad. Like
Sup,
it was nothing
oranges?
he did. It was literally, it wasn't all me, but it was literally mostly me.
Yeah, if you don't know Sagittariusshawty, her intro used to be like if she got mad at you or you did something to her, what she would do is have sex with like your dad or your brother just to get back at you, kind of like what Drake does. Because if Drake gets into a fight with your argument, he'll like have sleep with your girlfriend at the time just to get back at you. You eggy toast, you're laughing, but this is true.
I just wasn't ready to be anything with anyone at that time. I was super young. Like I had just turned 22. Like I was trying to have fun. And I guess I kind of like led him on to like think that I was ready for something I wasn't. Anyway,
Okay, so she did sleep with his brother's cousin and dad. That is some grimy stuff. No wonder the dude doesn't want to talk to you. Like you had sex with his brother's cousin and his dad. No.
I did mess around with him a lot. But there was like stuff going on like his side that like, made me like kind of not feel bad about like what I was doing. Anyways, so fast forward, he asked me to like come over and sleep over or something. And I was like, no, like I'm busy, whatever, like, cause I don't want to go sleep over. Like I want to do something. Like I'm too cute for that, in my opinion. So he was like, okay, like, what are you doing Friday? And I was like, oh, like, nothing. Like, why? What's up? And he was like, oh, like, I can come. Like, we can go somewhere. We can do whatever you want. I was like, okay, like, come. So he comes on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I brought my friend because I thought it was going to be really awkward. And, like, I just wanted to bring my friend because I wanted to see her that night, too. So I brought her. And why? The first thing he does when we get to the restaurant is say, I have a gift for you and pull out a honey pack. Whatever. If you don't know what a honey pack is, I'm not really gonna explain it because I'm not even quite sure myself. I just know that people drink it to get like horny and shit at the club. That's all I know about it. That's like what I know of people that like do it.
Yeah,
That I know of.
what the
That's the
hell's
only use I know of it being for. There's probably others, but yeah.
Please explain to me what the hell a honey pack is. Bruh, what the hell is all I know is a honey pack or ear pillows, but somebody this is new to me. Okay. What is the hell is a honey pack? I see that TikTok comes up when I search honey pack. I guess I'm gonna have to go on TikTok to learn what the hell a honey pack is. Hey, Fish, you leaving? Take care, Fish. Have a good one.
Like people just pour it into their bottles at the club and shit. I don't even know. So we go in. He doesn't eat because he already ate, which I'm like, so you were just gonna have me eat by myself. Anyways, he wanted to get drunk, so he had 2 beers. He bought me like 5 drinks, and he kept saying like, oh, and a shot of tequila, and he kept saying chug, like chug it. Like he put some of the honey pack in my drink, put some of the honey pack in my friend's drink. Then he had it in his drink. Like he was just being so weird.
Okay, so Kelly Wade is saying a honey pack is, I guess it would be the blue pills, the lube, and the condoms together.
The whole
Okay.
time, like he wouldn't stop bringing up past stuff that I guess he's still hurt from, which like I kind of understand, I guess, but if you're still stuck on it, why would you even offer to bring me out or anything like that? Why would you even want to be in contact with me? I don't know. He's just like he's like telling all these stories to my friend, and like she's a new friend, okay? She doesn't know past me, so like she's just sitting there like, what, really? And like he's like bringing out pictures of the men that I slept with. He's telling me that he's been going on my YouTube and he pays attention to like all the story times I tell about like me going on dates, me with men, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I was just like, oh, like why did you randomly hit me up? He was like, oh, like I wanted to for so long, but like like da da da. And I was like, okay, like whatever. He was just being really weird. He was like, oh, like did the honey? My friend was like, oh, like did the honey pack hit you? And I was like, no, I feel nothing. And he was like, you're lying. She's lying.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he was talking about like past stuff with us and like just like saying a lot of naughty things that I was just uncomfortable with. Saying
Right.
that his was hard and it's always hard and stuff like that. Then he asked me if I wanted to go back to his place to sleep there. And I had to go to the birthday party the next day, which was like 2 hours from me. And that would have brought me to like 1 hour from it. So I was like, yeah, sure. Like, you know what? Like, let's do it. But I was never planning on doing anything with him. So we get into the car, we go to the gas station. I'm texting my friend. I'm like, should I tell him now or wait till I get there to like let him know that I'm not about anything? And then she was like, oh, like tell him now because like it'll be awkward as hell if you go there and then say it to him. And I was like, okay. Like I texted him and I was like, hey, like
So Pamji, she tried to contour her nose, and it didn't work out properly for her.
I have on my period, so like I'm not doing anything with you tonight. Did you still want me to come, or like did you just want to bring me home? And he was like, oh, like we can hang out next week, then I'll drive you home. I'm like, okay, so I see your motive now. Then okay, I do this thing when someone's on their phone and I want to see what they're doing on their phone. I will take a video and like zoom in like to what they're doing on their phone, and then so I can like look back at it after. Like I'll read in real time too, but just taking a video just makes it, you never know when you're gonna need those pictures of what they're doing on their phone for
Sure.
evidence for something. So
Mhm.
I do it. Why when I get home, I read it, and this girl messaged him and said, broken up for the weekend, come see me and F me for the first and last time. His reply was, me too, what's your ID? And this was right before he dropped me off after I had said everything. So he drops me off. It's so awkward the whole way home because he seems mad. Like he's not talking to me. He's like blasting the music, like, whatever. Okay, like that's not my problem. Like, okay.
Right. Super sneaky.
Like you thought you were gonna get something and you're not. So he brings me home. I get home or whatever. Like I'm sending my friends this. Like I posted it on my spam or whatever. Cause yeah, that's where all the tea is. And like they're like, you like what the hell? Like they have no prior conversation either. And me and my girl end up finding this girl on Facebook and like no comment. But it was just so weird. Honestly, I was like, damn, because like I remember him being like this nice, sweet guy. I don't even know, like, oh wait, no, I can't say this. He had something on him. That's all I'm gonna. Yeah. So
He
yeah,
had
he
what?
dropped me home, and then like I ended up just blocking him on everything because no, absolutely the fuck not. I just wanted to go have a nice, peaceful food and drink with somebody that I thought gave a about me.
But what does she expect with the type of guys that she hangs out with? Of course, he's messaging her back for a reason. Like, is it just me, or is anybody else kind of thinking the ex is coming around again at like the perfect time where he knows because he's been watching her streams and her videos and her Instagram. He knows that she doesn't have anybody. He's coming around for a reason. Like, what does she expect?
I mean, I did enjoy the free food and drinks, but I could have gone without all that. So yeah, because of recent activities, I will be going back to therapy next week. I don't know who I thought I was weaning myself off my meds like that. I don't know what's going on in my brain. And you know what? I already know the comments that are gonna come because I've seen them all in my spam talking about, oh, you need validation, like you're so lonely, like you will take anything from any man who comes to you. No, it's really not even that. If you guys like, no one knows me enough to know why I do what I do, except for like my therapist and maybe my best friend.
Sure.
But there's just a whole lot of
Take
stuff
your
going
life,
on
Lindsay.
mentally with me right now that it's just I'm just in a really vulnerable place, and I was just being just plain dumb, even. But yeah, feel free to comment what you want, or call me what you want, whatever. Like, it's okay. I basically deserve it because what did I think was. So yeah, that is yet another story of me taking 1,000 L's. I think I'm going to just do the whole no contact. No, I'm lying because I'm even entertaining somebody new now, but slowly
Sure.
and not even like on that level. So I think I'm good. I've been blocking men like crazy lately. Actually, even one wrong ick and you're blocked. So yeah. Thank you for coming to my story, and wish me luck in my therapy, and hopefully I never, ever, ever put up with this shit again. Ever. Bye, guys. Love
All
you.
right, and that is it for Saggy. Okay. What's with the line down her nose? Yeah, she did that. All right, new intro and outro for Saggy. She isn't contouring, is what she's not doing there, Jacqueline Sue. Hey, long time. Yeah, no blending, no nothing. All right, that story time kind of really put things into perspective. To be honest, a lot wasn't known of what the hell was going on when all that stuff kept on coming out on her Instagram. But she cleared it up. And hey, she looks a lot better without those big lips she used to have. Yeah, the big lips thing, especially when it was super crusty, it wasn't it. Yeah, I think a lot of people do all these things and waste their money. And yeah, I think she looks a lot better now than with the lip injections. All right, people. Thanks for watching me. If you're just coming in, you can always watch the replay. I'll be out. I guess there's going to be maybe some foodie beauty stuff. Other than that, see you later. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.